Hello everybody, my name is Alan, I'm from Sauber-Lab and today will be another video about Synology NAS. In this video specifically, we're going to show how you can protect your data to avoid if anything happens, you still protect it. So in this video we're going to show few methods of protection. The first one will be snapshot, where if you delete some files or your data get encrypted, you can only recover it, or you can get that specific snapshot for that time and recover your data. Other type of backup that we're going to show will be the hyper backup, where you can backup either local, connect a USB stick there in your NAS, or external, connect directly for a cloud or another NAS. This video specifically, we're not going to show how you can sync your Synology NAS to another Synology NAS. In the next video I will intend to do it, but in this stage we only show how you can backup cloud, local and snapshot. Other thing that's interesting that we're going to show in this video is storage analyze, where you can analyze how much data or how much each user is using. In this way you can decide which user need more code or which user need less, let's say, and also you can see what's the big files that they are having. In this way Synology give a report for you decide and make the correct decisions according for your needs. So if you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna show you this video. But first of all, don't forget to leave your like, consider to subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed, and let's understand a little bit more about it. So before we start to go through those different options of backup, we're gonna explain the basics. Here in my computer I have my Synology NAS. It's not properly Synology NAS, this is a computer that I installed DSM and run quite well Synology. Of course, have some limitation with this system, because if you need some application that need to be activated by Synology, this will not work because they don't have a proper serial number. So in some applications I will show in the future, they will not work directly in your DSM installing a computer, only if you have physical Synology NAS. But for this video will not affect anything, so we can carry on. So return here. Here it's my computer where I have DSM installed. And this one is exactly the same that we show in the previous video, where we set up users, we set up share folders and set up the basic environment for you. And here we're gonna explain how you can protect your data. Why it's important to protect your data? Because anytime this Synology or this computer can fail, the hard drive can fail, because all your data can get lost, you need to have a way to protect it. This can be a snapshot, where they will create copies of your data in your computer, or it can be a proper external backup. First of all, we're gonna explain a little bit more about snapshot. In snapshot, it's simple. They install the application and you can define snapshot replicas and see what's going on. And here you have a level of backup, and you can adjust to make a fast backup or fast snapshot and recover it really fast. Of course, they compromise a little bit of your space, so if you have a lot of transfer of data in and out, and delete those data, this maybe it's not the best option for you. But if you have a storage of data that change a few things every day or a few things every hour, this is the best option. And here they explain that you can do this backup local, or you can do replica external, so have two different computers where they will sync the data. But it will make a little bit more sense once that we come here in our Synology and come in storage bag. In storage bag have a lots of options that you can install, but the option that we are looking is the snapshot. So it's snap, and we're gonna install this specific application to perform the snapshot. So I put install, and then now I put yes. This yes is because they want to install another application in the top of it to make it look like kind of service. And if you don't install it, they will not work as expected. After this one will be installed, that will take a few seconds, then we can start to set up it. So now let's start to configure this specific NAS shop. So here will appear all my share folders. I have my Docker, my engineer, my homes and HR. Remember that my Docker will be the application, engineer will be the share folder that you create for the engineering, homes and HR. So if I come here in my homes, I want to make backup for it or a snapshot. In this way, the users will save something, and if they lose something, they can recover it. And how it's gonna work? I will put settings, and I will define a retention of it, or how often they will happen. If I enable the snapshot, I can define how often they will do. I can define that snapshot will do every day in the week. I can daily, week, or weekdays. I don't believe that you can do hourly. Yes, you can do hourly. So every 1 hour, they will start to do the snapshot and continue on. In my case, I don't need to do it because not so much data sensitive and I don't change so much data. But if you wanted to have a really stable or really needed to have every hour, yes, the option, but will compromise a little bit of space of your system. So now retention, you can define how long they retain. You can define the snapshot for 7 days, or you can have a maximum of 128 snapshots, or you can get specific rules. So 1 day, 24 hours, 7 days, 2 weeks, 1 month, 1 year, and continue on. In my case, I want only for 7 days because it will be more than enough for me. And here the advanced. What it means? It means that if I allow this option, they will make the snapshot as a 0 time in London, or let's say 0 clock time. And why it's interesting, imagine that you have some companies or some people that work in the US, some people that work in Canada, some people that work in Japan, and that's everyone do backup or use the same system, same share folder. And we wanted to be sure that exactly midnight at 1 middle time, 0 o'clock, will make this backup, so you can select it. Other thing, you can select this option to make a snapshot folder available. In this way, they can see all the list of snapshots and can access it according to their needs. And now I'll put OK. If you only put this one, don't mean that snapshot has been created. So what you're gonna do? I will come here in my Explorer. Here I'm use SNB, and here it's all the data that I have. Because I'm running as admin, what I suggest to you to don't give admin rights for everyone, I can see all the folders. And here in my homes is where it's my users. Because I define the snapshot, they will appear the snapshot that I had created red from that specific folder snapshot. So if I come here, I will get my user Sauber-Lab. So I come here and will do my snapshot. I will put snapshot now and take a snapshot. Name of snapshot doesn't matter, and put OK. What it means? It means that they will do the snapshot, and once complete, I can come here and delete all these files. Let's say that I delete everything. So now that I delete everything, it's going to say, oh my gosh, I lose everything. No, you didn't lose. If I come here, properties, previous revision, I can see what was before. So I did a first snapshot at 10:30, and that's 11 minutes. If I open here, I have all the files that I want, so I can only copy here and recover it. So my data is not lost. It's only I have my snapshot that I can access it. And also I can allow for see what's going on with this snapshot, so I can see what's the snapshot that I have. Remember, because I'm used as an admin, I can see everything. If you're not using admin, you can only see the specific folders that has been given access for you. Other thing that you need to have in mind is that this snapshot consumes some space for you. So you have a big files, and that you delete those big files, that specific file size will not disappear. So they will keep that image until you get the 7 days or the retention time. So remember, if you transfer lots of data, big data, and delete it, snapshot will not be the best option. You should have another option for backup, and this other option, backup, will be the second option that we're going to show in this video. Before we go here, we come here back in snapshot, and we tell a little bit about replicants. Replicants is basically we're going to make a replica or a sync or all the information for one system to another system. I will not show this one because first I don't have another Synology NAS running that I can do this snapshot or this replica. Another thing, I don't have other external hard drive connected. But basically how it's gonna work, we're gonna create it, you're gonna define what kind of replica that you want. What suggests you should do a remote, but you can do local. If you do remote, you need to know the IP address, the user, and all the information. If you do local, you need to have an external hard drive. You're gonna not be able to do a backup in the same volume. So if you have a, I don't know, a NAS with 4 hard drives and you make RAID 5, you need to have an extra one hard drive to do this replica. What don't make sense so much for the replica. Replica is more interesting for remote, but anyway, and here then you select which files that you want to do the replica and put next. Because I don't have this hard drive there, will not work. So I come here, recover, and here will be all the snapshots that I have and all the information. In this moment I have 2 restore points. If I continue doing every day for 7 days, then it will be 7 restore points, unless I define more often in it. And here in the log will be all the information. So the first time I make a manual snapshot in this specific time, and that after I did another manual snapshot in this specific time. But snapshot is not the only option that Synology give as a backup. They have other options for backup. And if I come here in the page for Synology, they give a backup solution by Synology. What means Synology offer active backup business, active 365 and hyper backup. Remember, only hyper backup will work if you're using the DSM in a computer. If you have a proper Synology NAS, the other options will work, but it's suggestible only for company or enterprise or business. It means that if you have your normal Outlook, they will not do this backup. They will need to have a business option, or you need to have a Google Workspace as a business. The same thing for this active business backup. You can backup different users or different computers in your system. We're going to show a little bit about it, but it's more focused for business wise. So let's come here. I come here and select to install another package. All the packagings, and now all option to install this hyper backup. Before we go to this hyper backup, we're going to show how it's work, this active backup for business, and that you have an idea how it's work. Here in my Synology NAS, this one is a proper Synology NAS. I come here in my applications and I select active for business. How it's work? You're going to be able to set up backups for other Synologies, other computers, other physical servers, file system and virtual machines. And everything you can define according from needs, what's the data, how much data you're using. And this one will make more sense if you have a proper system only set up for backup option. So you have the main server running for all your users, and that have this one running only for backup, and that will do the backup for that specific Synology NAS or all the computers that you have. Remember, it's not straight away. You need to do some base configuration to do this backup, but it's not so difficult. You need to create certifications and that activate it. But it's not the focus for this video because I don't want to go for this business option at this stage. If you are curious to know how to set up it, please leave a comment in my video and that I will do it. But what I'm focused is hyper backup. Hyper backup, I just install it, so I'll open it, and here they all give me this page. How it's work? You can have this Synology. Basically, they will have a remote NAS or local USB or local folder or a properly Synology cloud system, and here you can define. I suggest you for use a remote NAS if you want to have another NAS, or a local folder USB. What means you can define one folder that you're going to do backup, or you can have an external hard drive there connected to your system, and this external hard drive, they will make the backup everything on them. Here in remote NAS, you can define the IP address in your network or external network, and that they will do the backup. Really similar for rsync. Rsync will be the option that you're gonna backup or copy all your data from one computer or one server to another server, and it's quite interesting for it. I show already how to do the setup for OpenMediaVault, but it will be more or less the same. You set up the IP address and set up the rest of configuration. Doesn't matter what kind of configuration, will be almost the same. Let's go for the Google Drive. So I click my Google Drive. Once that I make the login, they will ask permission. I will put agree. Remember, this first state will be basically the same for all the systems. First, you need to connect for your drive. This one can be local, can be a NAS, can be rsync, can be any kind of cloud you need to connect. After, you need to define where you're going to save this data or destination of the backup. In my case, I will select the same Synology NAS because I already did a backup for trial first. Will appear beta 2, but they should appear as a beta 1. If I wanted to relink the previous backup, I can come here, select what specific backup that I want. In my case, I will create a new one and put next. Once that you created the destination, then all the system will be the same. You need to define what you want to backup. In my case, I want to backup all the volumes. That's fine for me, and put next. I don't want any application, but if you want to have some configuration for the application or some specific application, yes, here's the time. Suppose that you have your Synology photos and took you few days to set up all that index. You want to save it, so you can backup the index. Or have some application that you did all your configuration, your email address or everything, you can come here and define as a backup the application. They will do the backup of the application and all the setups that you did. So now I put next, and here you define how often you want to make this backup. In my case, I did daily, but you can define weekly or weekdays or some specific time. Remember, if you define too often, potentially this one will make your system slow, because they will basically read everything, will compare what you have in your cloud against of what you have in your local, or what you have in your external hard drive against of what you have local, and that they will create backup. Other thing, they will check the integrity of this backup, and this integrity will guarantee that if anything wrong happens with this data, they will say something's wrong with the data, let's correct it. Also, you can enable the log file for your backup. It means that if this backup is creating something, this log file will be able to read and see what is going on with your system. Also, if you're doing external hard drive or you're doing your cloud, what I suggest you to encrypt your data. It means that unless someone have that encrypted key, they will not be able to find or read your backup. Suppose that you have an external hard drive, you leave in your table, someone got it and think, oh, I will have all the data, now I can only go there and access everything. No, it's not this way that we're gonna work, because you encrypt it, and that's only if the person have the encryption key will not be able to access it. In our case, we will not activate this encryption key. I will put next. Now I define what rotation. It's really interesting for you to define rotation, otherwise it will be only increment backup, and when you realize it will be so big that it will be impossible to maintain. So increment rotation, and now you can say delete the previous revision, and that always will replace the old for the new one. But what I suggest you to use previous for the old, and it means that for 256 they will make the backup. After these ones, then next one will be delete for save for the next one, next will be delete for save the next one. But if I put smart, what they will do, they will save every week for the first, I don't know, few weeks. After this one, they will save every day for the first few weeks. After this one, they will save every few weeks and continue on. It means that you earn 1 week over time. So if I put a little bit more, 50 days, it means that the first 2 weeks or 4 weeks they save every day, and that after this one they will save once a week, and after this one will be once a month, and continue on. It means that you can have long data, a long time of protection, but not necessarily every day will be record this change. So let's leave as smart and put done. So once that you configure it, they will ask if you want to do backup now. We'll put yes, and that they will generate the backup. It means that this backup, they will read all the data that you have, read all the data that you have in the cloud, and after this one they will compare and only do increment. It means that if you have 10 gigabytes of data, not necessary that the next backup will be 20, and that third, 40. It means that you only save what has been changed. So if you have initial 10 gigabyte and you add 1 gigabyte, the next backup will be 11. If you add another gigabyte, it will be 12. And that in this way will save a little bit more space. Other thing that's interesting for this option, you can understand what's going on with backup. Once that they finish to do this backup, we're gonna go back here in our hyper backup and understand what happened. Once that you finish to do the backup, they will appear successful, and here you can understand your data. So if I come here, explore snapshot, they will show what has been done as a snapshot, and here will be your subfolders and what data that you have there. All the time that you're gonna do a new snapshot, you're gonna be able to see it. You can restore it, or you can copy to a specific location only to recover it. Also, you can see how much data that increase, so you can monitor it. In my case, I'm using the free Google Drive, so the total size will be 15 gigabytes, but if you're using a big one, they will give a big info option, and you can define what's the limit. So if you don't want to use all your data with this backup, you can define it. Also, you can see the resource and your monitoring. And once that arrives to 50% of your data use, they will send alerts for you. And here you can check your integrity, edit and delete. So in this way, we show these two options of backup that you can have, snapshot as a local and external backup. Of course, snapshot will be really fast to run. The hyper backup, principally that you use in the cloud, will take a little bit longer because you need to upload, read all the data and continue on, but I suggest you to do the two options. Other thing that you need to remember that backup, it's not only to save your data, it's to protect that anything happen, and normally the rule is 3, 2, 1. What it means, you need to have a 2 backup or 2 copies of the same data, could be local, and the third one needs to be external. So in the case that you have your business and you have 2 copies of the same data in your business, if your business falling down, imagine that have a fire or anything, all your data is lost. This reason that it's interesting to have external. This external could be either an external hard drive that you send for someone to keep it, and once a month they will update, or could be a proper cloud system that will manage everything for you. So if you like this video and think that was interesting for you, please don't forget to leave a like, consider to subscribe for the channel, and see you next time. Bye.